Today, we're diving into the wrestlers who got absolutely jacked after leaving WWE. And trust me, some of these transformations will blow your mind. Drew McIntyre, from Chosen One to Scottish Terminator. When Drew McIntyre first arrived in WWE in the late 2000s, he was dubbed the Chosen One by Vince McMahon himself. But despite the hype, Drew didn't stand out physically. He was tall, lean, but not exactly intimidating. Eventually, he was released in 2014. And that's when everything changed. Outside of WWE, Drew completely reinvented himself. He trained harder than ever, focused on heavy lifting, diet, and conditioning. By the time he returned to WWE in 2017, he was the man. And in 2020, he proved it by winning the Royal Rumble and defeating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Cut in before-after pics. Clips of Drew in 3MB versus Drew 2020. Bobby Lashley, from potential to the almighty. Bobby Lashley was always a powerhouse in WWE during his first run, but fans felt like he never truly reached his potential. After leaving WWE in 2008, Lashley spent nearly a decade outside the company, wrestling in TNA, fighting in MMA, and working on his body like a machine. By the time he returned to WWE in 2018, Lashley wasn't just big, he was a freak of nature. His physique was on par with the greatest bodybuilders in the world, and his MMA background made him even more legitimate. The transformation was insane. Fans who remembered Lashley from the late 2000s couldn't believe their eyes, and WWE finally capitalized on it, branding him the Almighty. And when he came back, he was unstoppable. Cody Rhodes, from Stardust to the American Nightmare. Well, let's be honest, in WWE, Cody Rhodes was stuck. Whether it was being dashing Cody Rhodes or the Stardust character, he was never seen as a main eventer. And his physique reflected that, he was athletic, but not someone you'd call larger than life. But once Cody left WWE in 2016, he rebuilt everything. His career, his presentation, and his body. On the independent scene and later in AEW, Cody transformed into a sculpted, jacked-up main eventer. His American Nightmare persona wasn't just about attitude. It was backed up by a world-class physique that screamed superstar. By the time he returned to WWE in 2022, fans couldn't believe this was the same guy who once painted his face and played Stardust. Cody had gone from mid-Carter to WrestleMania main event material. And a lot of that came from the work he put into his physique and image after leaving WWE. Jinder Mahal, the shocking glow-up. Now this one shocked almost everyone. Jinder Mahal was released from WWE in 2014 after a forgettable run as part of 3MB. By 2016, when he returned to WWE, he looked absolutely shredded, with insane muscle definition and vascularity. His transformation was so shocking that it instantly turned heads. Within a year, WWE pushed him all the way to the top, and in 2017, Jinder Mahal won the WWE Championship. Something nobody would have predicted during his 3MB days. His physique was a massive factor in that push, proving just how much a transformation outside WWE can change everything. Sheamus, the leaner, meaner Celtic warrior. Sheamus has always been known for his power style. A brawler with pale skin, fiery red hair, and brute strength. But in his early years, Sheamus carried a bulkier build, which sometimes made him look slower in the ring. After a series of injuries and time away, Sheamus returned with a leaner, more shredded look. His abs were popping, his conditioning was better than ever, and he moved faster in the ring. This wasn't just the Celtic warrior anymore. This was a guy who could hang with the most athletic wrestlers on the roster. His transformation helped extend his career and even made him stand out in his late 30s and 40s. Just look at his banger after banger matches with Drew McIntyre, Gunther, and others. Sheamus proved that sometimes trimming down and leaning out is just as impressive as bulking up. Edge, the rated R return in prime shape. When Edge retired in 2011 due to a serious neck injury, fans thought they'd never see him in the ring again. Back then, he was already in great shape, but nearly a decade away from WWE, most assumed he'd slow down. But when Edge returned at the 2020 Royal Rumble, jaws hit the floor. At nearly 46 years old, Edge looked better than ever. His physique was ripped, lean, and athletic, with conditioning that rivaled stars half his age. The difference? During retirement, Edge committed to a strict workout and lifestyle, focusing on longevity and rehab. That discipline paid off. When he returned, not only did he look like a superhero, but he also wrestled some of the best matches of his career against Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns. Edge's comeback wasn't just emotional, it was inspirational. His transformation showed that even after 9 years away, you can come back looking absolutely elite. John Morrison, the Hollywood-level transformation. John Morrison always had a great body in WWE. He was lean, athletic, and had the parkour style that set him apart. But after leaving WWE in 2011, Morrison took things to a whole new level. During his years in Lucha Underground, Impact, and the Indies, Morrison sculpted himself into something out of a movie. His abs looked carved out of stone, his arms were more defined, and he embraced that Hollywood action hero look to match his Johnny Mundo persona. By the time he returned to WWE in 2019, fans were stunned. Morrison looked like he hadn't aged a day. In fact, he looked better. The extra definition, the lean mass, and his explosive athleticism made him seem like a legit superhero walking into the ring. Morrison's transformation showed that you don't always have to get bigger. Sometimes refining and chiseling down can make your physique even more impressive. Matt Cardona. From Zack Ryder to Indy King. Let's be honest, in WWE, Zack Ryder was never booked as a top guy. He was fun, entertaining, and loved by fans, but his look was never presented as main event. After his WWE release in 2020, Matt Cardona completely reinvented himself. He hit the gym harder than ever, packed on serious muscle, and came back looking like a heavyweight star. No more mid-card comedy act. This was a guy built like a main eventer. Cardona didn't just change his physique, he changed his entire image. On the indie scene and in promotions like GCW and NWA, he became the indie god. Confident, cocky, and physically imposing. His jacked-up transformation played a huge role in fans taking him seriously as a major player outside WWE. Cardona's journey proves that sometimes leaving WWE gives you the freedom to unlock your true potential, and he's living proof of that. Each of them proved that leaving WWE doesn't mean the end. In fact, it can be the beginning of their best version. And if you love this video, don't miss my breakdown of when Hollywood superheroes entered WWE rings. It's the perfect opposite of today's list. So here's the takeaway. WWE may be the biggest stage, but sometimes wrestlers need to step off it to truly find themselves. Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, Cody Rhodes, Jinder Mahal. They all prove that with the right drive, you can come back not just better, but unrecognizable. Which transformation shocked you the most? And who do you think could be next to return to WWE looking completely different? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like, smash that subscribe button, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.